Thank you. 7:45 now. The Department of Education says federal student loan borrowers who could not pay on time could actually be damaging their credit scores. Financial expert Chase Wilsey is here to help us break it all down and what we can do to actually prevent that. And what a sensitive time when you're kind of graduating school, you're getting ready to make some money, and you don't want to damage your credit score.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And I mean, the big thing I look at here is this is really impacting people, not that recently graduated, but people that graduated maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago. And I say that because the student loan program has really been on pause since during COVID, essentially. So people have not made payments in many cases in 5 years. So I mean, this is a big change. And what actually happened on Monday was the federal government came out and said, if you have not made payments and you're in default, you will be getting a 30-day notice that your wages could be garnished unless you do something to get out of default.
Okay, so what are the changes about student loans that people need to know about?
Yeah, I mean, I would say right now the changes, there's nothing really major changing to the actual programs themselves, but the big change, as I said, is now your wages can be garnished if you're in default. And the way this works is after 90 days of no payments, you're placed in delinquency. And last year the federal government said, okay, well now that's going to start impacting your credit score. So that's not new. That has been actually being impacted for people. But now if you're in default, and that occurs after 290 days of being delinquent. So you're looking at essentially 360 days of no payments. So don't think, oh my gosh, I missed one payment, they're going to take money from my paycheck. This is for people that haven't made payments for 360 days plus.
That's a long time for not making a payment, and we can assume that the reason that people are not making the payment is they don't have the money to be able to do it. So if you don't have the money, what are your options? Yeah,
and I think some of it is maybe they don't have the money, but the other thing is there's been so much confusion around, well, is student loans going to be forgiven? Are they not going to be forgiven? Yes. They're on pause, they're not on pause. I think the whole program has been very confusing for people. So they're like, well, I'm just not going to do anything until I know what's going on. I will tell people right now, it appears there is no forgiveness coming. It appears that is in the past. You need to come up with a plan to start making those payments.
So what is the plan? If you are one of those people and you're watching right now, what do you need to add to your to-do list?
Yeah, I think there's two subsets of people. If you have the funds and you are able to make payments, obviously start making the payments there. If you don't and you're financially struggling, there are government resources. You can contact the default resolution group within the federal government. There you can look at income-driven repayment plans. Those are a great option for people that are like, I can't afford the standard plan. It's just too much for me. What the income-driven plan does is it caps your payments as a percentage of your discretionary income. The way that works is you look at your AGI, which is essentially your income, you subtract out a percentage of the federal poverty line, and then you take 10 or 15% of that. So there's a little bit of math behind it, but essentially it is an easier way for you to make payments if you can't afford the full burden.
So what I'm basically hearing from you is that you're not going to escape this. It's time to come up with a plan now, and there are different options. If you have the funds, make a plan and start doing it. And then there are resources. Where do you go for these resources for help?
Just online. You find the federal government. As I said, the default resolution program essentially is the big one that you can see. Also, too, I tell people, talk to your employer. A lot of people don't realize this, but some employers do offer this as a benefit, either through maybe like a signing bonus or regular payments on your behalf to the student loan. Or also, too, there is a new program that kind of came out from the Secure Act, where if you're making student loan payments, companies will then match in your 401k. So instead of putting money into your 401k, you give them the fact that you're putting money into your student loans, well then they put in money into your retirement plan. So talk to your company, see if there's anything that they offer to kind of help with this burden as well.
So there's a lot of talking. You got to add to your to-do list, research, talking, go find some answers.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to just fix itself. You do need to take some action and actually go on and get this resolved, because as I said, it is not going to be forgiven. I think that is in the past. I mean, maybe with a new administration in a few years, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but under this current administration, it appears no, you need to pay those student loans.
All right, Chase, thank you. Always good to have you here.
Of course.
We're going to take a short break. We'll